Yo, yo, welcome to the No Limit Podcast, also known as the Chimneys Clodcast, cause Santa got a bomb ass. Here with your mom's last first date, any bull, and your dad's new post-divorce pool partner, No Limit Eddie. What up? Also joining us tonight is film enthusiast, New York Film Academy film student, Bisco, of the Chin-Don Podcast. We just learned he doesn't have a stage name, it's just Bisco, so that's what we call him, that's what you call him. You don't like it? Get over it. What's going on?
Not much. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Hell yeah. Nah, it's good to have you.
So you guys saw us on his podcast, the Chin Don Podcast. Before we get into anything, how's that going for you guys?
It's going good. You know, we're just still kind of figuring out the direction we want to go and moving forward. But yeah, it's been good. And yeah, look forward to a lot of good stuff coming out after the new year.
Yeah, we actually we had a ton of fun on that podcast. I thought it was a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like we release our podcast and it goes up weekly and we post it whatever on the server, whatever, throughout the day. But I kind of like the idea of how Carmine wanted it to be. He sees himself as like a Johnny Carson type, and you guys air it live on YouTube. So it's you watch it. You could watch it at 8 o'clock. That's your 8 o'clock Wednesday night show. And then you could also go back and watch it as a podcast, which is cool. I like that idea, actually. The concept's cool. Whose idea was that?
So Carmine, in terms of the talk show stuff, we all kind of talked it out, and Carmine had the idea a talk show type. But Mark was the one who wanted to do the live YouTube. None of us knew about that.
Yeah, I thought that was actually I never even heard of that before. Honestly, for something like that, I thought that was cool. That's different.
Yeah.
To set the premiere for your videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And it definitely makes sense with the concept of the show.
That's what I mean. It's he's trying to be.
It is a very unique podcast type where it's one of the first of its kind podcasts to blatantly be like a late night show.
Yeah,
with a host.
I mean, it really actually isn't really a podcast. It's actually more like a talk show.
And I like it. It's got a classy set to it.
Because so far you've only interviewed guests. Talk about some of the guests that you've had so far. Who's coming up? If you got anybody special.
So we've had I think our biggest name guest was definitely Dolly Broadway. Who, if you don't know, she's a good friend of mine's grandmother who blew up on TikTok during the pandemic, and so we had her on, who was hilarious, and then we had you two on episode 3. And then episode 4, we had a good friend of me and Carmine, Rosario Miko, who's an actor who just started a network TV show. And then
nice.
Then after that, we had our good friend Blake Rosell, who does media broadcasting in Margate. And so next year, we got a couple guests coming on, a couple of TikTok celebrities, and this guy, Wooden Spoon Media, who runs an Italian page on Instagram. So we got a couple good guests coming up for after the new year.
And we'll be seeing you on our podcast, and then we'll also be seeing Carmine, co-host. Yep. You did lose a host, though. You had another host in the beginning, but...
Oh, no, he's still with us.
He's still with you? He's not doing the host thing?
No, he's going to be in the future, but he works a billion hours, so...
okay. But he's a true member of the cast?
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. No, he's a true member. He'll be back. He's not going anywhere.
It's not like a Three Stooges deal where they lose their original guy.
Nah, none of that.
Who was that?
Do that?
Yeah, the Three Stooges originally was...
Which one was
You know how it's Mo, Larry, and Curly?
Yeah.
Originally, before that, there was Mo, Larry, and Shep. But also, I just found out recently that before even Mo, Larry, and Shep, there was somebody named Joe.
Joe Blow, the Three Stooges. Who knows?
But shout out Larry Fine, born on 4th and South.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got that place there, that restaurant.
Yeah, definitely.
With his face all over it.
So obviously tonight, sitting down here with Bisco, film enthusiasts, we're going to be talking films. It is the Christmas season. No Limit always delivers on the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing all that information, you already know what we're going into.
Now,
Christmas movies.
Literally, as of 20 minutes ago, I got into a kind of a debate on my phone with my friend. He was telling me that A Christmas Story is an average movie, right? Now, A Christmas Story, we all know it plays 24/7 on TBS from 8 o'clock Christmas Eve to 8 o'clock Christmas Day. I personally watch it straight through. Except I think I usually turn it off. I usually turn it off when basketball games start on Christmas Day. But I watch that all day and night until then. And I to this day, I still think it's the greatest Christmas movie ever.
So you can literally sit there and watch it.
Over and over.
Over and over
the
again.
Second it ends, I keep rolling. I don't even move. I just the next one comes on. It's once a year, dude. It's like my tradition. But I still laugh. I'll watch it back to back to back, and I'll wake up Christmas morning. It'll be 10 a.m. and I'm watching it again, and I'm still cracking up. I just think it's a funny movie. I think it's great. It's classic. It's literally a classic.
I think you got to go to the doctor about that.
So what do you think of A Christmas Story?
I love A Christmas Story. I've seen it in theaters a couple times too.
Yeah, dude, I think you're an
Now, how,
absolute
though?
asshole.
They rescreened it every year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you're an asshole if you don't like the movie, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
I think you're a jerk.
Yeah, I don't not like the movie, so I'm not an asshole. But
No, I'm just saying.
I can't watch it 24
I was
hours.
looking at you with like a little bit of fucking hate for no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was telling me that Home Alone's a better movie. I think Home Alone's
Who
overrated
was?
as hell.
Was I telling you that? Because
No.
I would be telling you that.
Nah. I think Home Alone's overrated as hell.
I disagree with that. I love Home Alone.
Home Alone, dude. Now that's mine. I wish there was a channel playing Home Alone, and especially because you could play Home Alone 24 hours straight and it'd be different movies.
Yeah. Well, the first two are the only ones worth watching.
I don't know. I got a hot take here.
Really? All right. I want to
Home
hear
Alone
this.
3 is good. Is real good.
Is Home Alone 3, is that... It's not Macaulay Culkin.
No, it's a different kid. It did get
Richie
bad.
Rich?
I'm not sure, but he has like a bowl cut. His name's Max in the movie, right?
I haven't seen that movie since I was 8.
Dude.
The sequels.
Home Alone 3 is, other than
When you
1 and
should've
2,
stopped watching it, yeah.
I have watched 3 over again, like multiple times. Now, it does get really bad. There is a Home Alone 4. Don't like it at all. There is a Home Alone 5, which a lot of people probably don't even know about, but I remember specifically finding it at Blockbuster as a young kid. Home Alone
Really?
5
Wait,
exists.
did you guys see the trailers for the new Home Alone that's coming out?
I saw the movie.
You saw the movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's out. My cousins told me it was terrible.
Train wreck. It's got to be
No.
horrible.
Really?
No. I'm at another hot take. That movie's good too.
Dude, I thought
Okay.
that looked lame
Yeah,
as
a lot of hot
hell.
takes today.
You do got some bad holiday takes, bro.
I'll say this. Home Alone 1 and 2. Like, we could have the whole topic just based on Home Alone, which this kind of is because it's Christmas movie topic.
Yeah,
But what I'll say about Home Alone 1 and 2, one of the very few movies where the sequel absolutely delivered. Like, delivered
I can see that.
where you could argue that it's better than 1. But I think they both hold their own place. What do you think?
I don't know if I put it over than 1, but it is a great sequel. It's a very good
It is hard to
sequel.
do a good sequel like that.
It is. It's very hard.
Especially for a concept like that. How do you get left at home twice as a kid? I mean, how bad
And
can you be
yes,
a parent?
and they worked out all the kinks with that. I
Right.
believed it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They do a good job.
But that's why they had to switch up the kid on number 3, because you would never believe that they left him 3 times.
Yeah,
right,
it was
that's
like,
true,
ah,
yeah.
yeah, come on. Even like they're sitting around the boardroom trying to come up with that movie, and they're like, nah, they can't do it a third time.
Yeah.
This one's got to go across the country. We got to go
Macaulay
to California
Culkin
for
was
the
starting to
story.
get into drugs.
You know they were pitching it. They were trying to find something.
Yeah,
to
they're
make
like,
it work.
They should have made it like Macaulay Culkin is like the drug addict's son who they don't take with them anywhere.
No. What they should have did is made it like him as a teenager and all of his teenage angst. He's like, I'm not going there for Christmas. I hate those people. And he like slams his door, and they're like, well, we're leaving them. And then he goes and like fucks all these bitches at the house and throws a banger.
Yeah, so
That'd be a
then,
way better movie. Home Alone 3 would be popped then if that was the case.
but Home Alone 3, the real movie was there was a toy car and there was a chip in it that was something for the government, and these 4 thieves were getting together to go steal it from this kid who he acquired it because he shoveled some lady's pavement and she didn't pay him money. He was originally mad about that, but what he didn't realize was what he actually had was much more valuable, the toy car. So that's why his house gets robbed by these 4 guys, and that's how that movie goes. It's good. I won't say it's up there with 1 or 2. Like, we all agree that those are classics. You say it's overrated, but
I think it's
they're still a
overrated.
Christmas classic.
Right, but then I also love A Christmas Story, and you like think it's overrated. You know what I
3,
mean?
you
It's
don't
all
even know it.
selective.
Like, you barely even knew about 3. Like,
No, I
what's
don't know
going
anything.
on.
I know
So,
nothing
yeah.
about 3.
So skip 4 and 5 because they're trash. But yo, the new one that you brought up, not bad.
Really?
Not bad.
I saw the trailer for that in theaters, and I was like, I can't believe that they just over and over again just try to tarnish these individual properties that like you don't need to remake Home Alone. Like Macaulay Culkin's Home Alone. You don't
I
need this.
agree.
You don't need this little fat English kid Home Alone.
Yeah,
now.
the reason he was left home was really fucking bad, but the rest of the movie was good. He like went into the car in the driveway and started watching a video and fell asleep. And the next day, nobody checked the car and they left for the airport.
Yeah. Where's my son that I gave birth to? That's supposed to be here for Christmas. It's like he's a kid. I don't know. I think it's definitely a dumb concept.
But other than that, not bad. Because they blatantly in the movie, and we talked about meta a little bit before on this. You probably know what that concept is, like commentary on yourself, right? So like in the movie, they blatantly do some type of commentary where they say, oh, it's never as good as the original or something, where they know that they're not ever going to live up to what Home Alone 1 and 2 was as a Christmas classic, but it's just going to be a little entertaining movie thrown out there for the Christmas season, and I like that about them. Another good part was they had a great cameo. Remember the brother, Buzz?
Yeah.
Well, in the middle of the movie, the kid calls the cops, and they transfer the call to a cop in his car, and it's the brother grown up.
That's
He's like, listen, my family left my brother when we were younger. This kid's just some kid trying to pull a prank, like blah blah blah. Leave him alone, and just hangs up the phone. And that's so I like that. I like that about it. I thought it was okay. It wasn't bad.
What's your favorite Christmas movie? Is it Home Alone?
Yeah. So
You too?
yeah.
Nah, I would say honestly my favorite Rudolph.
Really?
Rudolph's
the
a
animated
banger.
one? That is a good one.
the cartoon version.
The cartoon.
I think
Claymation.
the love for the animated movies is starting to die down. Like,
I agree.
Like as a whole, with people around the country, like a lot of older people like them because that's what they grew up with. But I think that those movies are great. I like them all.
That's just like that's like the most nostalgic one for me.
Yeah, it's all nostalgia, and like like those movies are very comforting to me. Like when I watch that, I feel comfortable. Like I don't know, it's interesting.
And
Frosty.
Frosty's a banger.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Movies
Year
like
Without
that,
Santa Claus.
they are
Oh,
comforting.
that's a great one.
Yeah.
I love that one.
What Santa Claus?
A Year Without Santa Claus.
I haven't seen it.
Really?
What about the Charlie Brown Christmas? You like that?
I like
That's a
that.
great one too.
I like the No Limit, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving too, and
That's
Halloween.
a banger too. All three of them. I
they're all
agree.
trifecta. Peanuts was on the something with those movies.
Peanuts.
Peanuts.
Now the best Christmas movie though is It's a Wonderful Life. If we're talking
Never
like
seen
removing bias, that's the best one.
Never seen it.
You gotta check that
I
out.
think
That's
The Grinch
an
is
older
better.
movie, right?
That's from like the 40s.
Yeah, that's
But
like an
still,
all-time
it's
classic.
just like it's just an all-time great.
That's the plot is centered around somebody who's going through a rough time during Christmas.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like he's like the everyman who's trying to help out the community, and then there's like the super rich guy who's like basically like the antagonist of the film. I don't want to spoil anything since you haven't seen it, and basically it's like he gets down on his luck, and then it's kind of like what the world would be without him, even though he feels like his life doesn't mean anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think The Grinch is better. Yeah, that's another good one where it's got a good
a good
animated
one.
movie, and it's got the Jim Carrey one's great. He's great as the Grinch.
Yeah,
And
that's
he's
a
awesome.
good-
Like he's like you forget that that's like a human. Like you just think that's just the Grinch.
Yeah, you're right.
Real
actually.
shit. Real
You think-
shit.
Like
That's a
he
good
really
point.
like just becomes the Grinch. I think that it's a really underrated role for him, even though it's a popular ass movie.
Jim Carrey, dude, he's an underrated actor.
Oh, he's
Brilliant.
awesome.
Brilliant.
He's brilliant. Yeah.
He gives his all to every character.
Everything. Yeah. No, he really does. He's really, really good. He understands.
Now, I don't want to move on. Well, give us your favorite Christmas movie. I want to
I think
touch.
it's a Christmas story. And it's also like tied to a lot of nostalgia for me from like always growing up watching it. My parents love it.
Dude, so now that we've given those, I gotta say this because I can't forget it. And this is the perfect example of what we just talked about before the podcast. Shitty bangers.
Okay.
I think that's a new
Let me
limit
hear
The
Perfect
number
example.
23 with Jim Carey.
I haven't
Number
seen that one.
23.
Is it 23 or 21? The
when,
number.
when he keeps seeing the number.
Yeah, and he like goes to the hotel room and he
Oh.
scratches the
haven't
wallpaper
seen
off
this.
the
I heard
walls
of
and
this
it's
one.
all 23.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's a weird. He
Dude.
got into some weird movies there for a few years. He was doing some off the wall.
Dude,
movies.
that's a shitty banger. That movie is like a 20, maybe lower on Rotten Tomatoes, but I can just watch it.
For
Like,
some
it's not
reason
bad.
that's reminding me of Secret Window with Johnny Depp, another shitty banger.
Could possibly be. You know, this is another cult or something that's like that. You know who, a little more obscure, you know who Jersey Jerry is?
Jersey
Barstool
Jerry.
guy.
I don't really watch a lot of Barstool.
So he doesn't. It's not like he makes content on YouTube. He puts out these videos on Twitter that's called The Signs, and he does it right before every NFL Sunday. And he'll give some crazy rationale for picking a team. Let's say last night Browns are playing the Raiders. He'll be like, The Signs with Jersey Jerry, and then he's like, the Browns play the Raiders tonight. In 14-16, the Raiders invaded Viking territory. 16-14, 30.
This is a Barstool?
The over-under number is 44. 30 plus 16 is 46. Overs. The Signs with Jersey Jerry.
I don't like this guy.
So like crazy coincidences.
Yeah, just things that mean nothing that always end up to be whatever bet he wants to put in, and that is exactly what that movie, The Number 23 with Jim Carrey is. He will find any way to relate something to The Number 23.
Jim Carrey's worst movie. I think it might be Yes Man.
That's a pretty bad one.
That's a bad one.
I don't
That's
fuck
not even
with
a shitty
that.
banger.
Yes,
That's
man.
just a
Yeah,
bad
Fun
that's
with
just a
Dick and
bad
Jane.
movie.
Fun with Dick and
Ass.
Jane, bang.
Yeah,
Yo,
not a bad
but
one.
Me, Myself, and Irene, banger. There's another one that he made around that time that was really good. Damn, I can't think of it. Oh, Bruce Almighty, banger.
Bruce Almighty was
Mask.
real
The
good.
Mask,
The Mask
banger.
is a banger.
I'm not feeling The Mask.
You're not a
What?
fan of The Mask?
Nah.
Dude, The
I
Mask
love
That
is
was one of those
great.
movies that freaks me out so much that I can't
I actually
watch
just
it.
watched it recently. It is a freaky movie.
It
It
is.
is like just a wild movie. Like at the end when he's got like the guns, like it's just like it's such a weird movie.
My brother won't watch it.
Really?
I've been trying to get him to watch it. He thinks it's too creepy.
How old's your brother?
He's like 12. It's like not even like
I
he's
was even,
scared
like,
of it. He's just
32.
like, he's just like, this movie looks stupid and creepy. Like, I'm not watching this. I'm like, nah, you got it. I told him it's the best movie ever made.
Really?
The Mask.
Nah, I was breaking his
You're just
balls,
telling him
but-
that? Yeah, I like
I
The
feel
Mask.
like on Chindan you gave us your thought of the best movie ever made.
I probably did. I mean, I think the best movie ever made is The Godfather 8.5.
Yeah, you did. You said something about
It
Godfather.
was 8.5.
It's an Italian film.
Oh.
But it's like it's unlike any film ever made, and it's like I think the most creative film and like honest film ever made.
Out of my wheelhouse.
Oh,
For sure.
Masterpiece.
Definitely when they had less to work with in film, as far as like effects and extra things after the fact, the dialogue, the tangible stuff like dialogue, acting, all that stuff was so boosted and just a little bit better because you never had any of the extra shit to fall back on. So that's why I
Yeah,
feel like
It was really
a lot
about
of people's
the,
opinions of the best movies of all time are from like in the 1900s.
Oh, I think he's. I actually
Oh,
recently
yeah.
did a top 100 list, and almost there's only maybe like on my top 100, like maybe 5 to 10 films from the 21st century
Yeah.
Really?
on there. Yeah,
Because
You know
all,
any off the top of your head?
from the 21st. Or
Yeah, that creeped into that list.
definitely Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive.
That's the best one. The Dark Knight's on there.
Really?
Yeah, the Dark Knight
with the
was on
Joker,
there.
yeah, that one's fire.
That's a phenomenal movie from start to finish.
I'm trying to think. What else is on there?
I'm just trying to think like that. I'm trying to think of movies that are like classic, like There Will Be Blood, No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, I think actually both of them were on there.
Um,
And then what's it called? I think I had The Departed on there.
The Departed is another one. There's a lot of good movies that came out. in the 21st
Inglourious
century.
Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards is a great one. Yeah.
Definitely.
And this is me trying to be like, this isn't my personal favorite.
Right,
This is
right,
like
right.
Me just ranking the 100 best films
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I'm
that's pretty
actually so happy that I was able to come up with a prime example of a shitty banger because I thought we were gonna struggle, but that one definitely was.
23.
Now we
Or
need
21.
shitty bangers from you two. The number 23.
You got one on the top of your head?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze.
The
That is a
sequel.
fucking banger. I could watch that movie any day of the week and enjoy it. I can quote every line. It's just totally ridiculous, and like you got Vanilla Ice rapping with the Ninja Turtles as they're fighting like the Foot Clan.
That's
but-
like those Mortal Kombat movies.
yeah,
Dude, the
like
Mortal
that.
Kombat 90s movies
They're good,
bang.
They
Yeah,
are
but
bang-
they're
they're
shitty bangers.
Yeah,
Banger.
perfect example.
Spawn is another shitty banger.
Spawn, yeah.
Shitty banger. I think mine's is That's My Boy with Adam Sandler.
Honestly, that's a good one.
It's a great
Adam
movie.
Sandler's got some
but that's
shitty
a
bangers.
terrible
He does.
movie. It's a terrible movie.
It is classic, though.
But see, Adam Sandler's so great because he has such good movies. Like Happy Gilmore is without a doubt
my favorite comedy.
it's a well written movie. It's funny
Yeah.
as hell. Like the characters are all great. Shooter McGavin's awesome. Like
Yeah.
Chubbs is great. Everything about that movie's great, right? And then he has a movie right after it, The Water Boy. And then right after that, Little Nicky, like, and Little Nicky's another shitty banger. That's a shitty ass movie, but that movie's
Yeah.
hilarious. I can watch that all the time. And then I feel like he went into like a renaissance again with like Mr. Deeds, 51st Dates, Spanglish, Punch Drunk Love. Like he was making a lot of good movies.
Punch Drunk Love's a serious movie.
Yeah, and then he started making like Jack and Jill and like
That's
Hotel
bad.
Transylvania, and now he's
Click.
kind of coming back. Click, I love Click. Another shitty banger.
Really? I'm not a big fan of Click.
Click is
not my
awesome,
favorite one.
dude.
Shitty banger.
Shitty
Click,
banger.
Definitely shitty banger.
And
Maybe I
dude,
gotta
and,
revisit
and
it.
it tugs at the heartstrings out of nowhere. It gets you so sad when they're in
Out
the
of nowhere.
when Fonzie is all like he's about to die. He's on his deathbed, and he comes into Adam Sandler's office, and he's like too busy for him, and he's like, yeah, Dad. And then Adam Sandler's like sitting there, like pausing it, and he's like, "Hey, look at him, man. Just look at your dad." Like I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, dude, that shit does get sad out of nowhere. Yo, that Adam Sandler movie that Netflix dropped, Halloween, low key not that
Hubie
bad.
Halloween.
Hubie
Shitty banger.
Halloween.
I enjoyed Hubie Halloween. Now he actually has a good movie on Netflix. I was actually just telling him before you got here.
yeah.
Murder Mystery. Did you ever see Murder Mystery?
I did want to watch that one.
It's with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. They go on like a. They're going on like a.
a cruise, right?
I think it might be their honeymoon that was never promised to him, or like Adam Sandler promises to take her on a trip, and like their marriage is kind of like stale or whatever, and then they go on this trip and they get caught up in this fucking murder mystery somehow. It is a funny good movie. What do you think of Uncut Gems?
Oh, it was incredible.
I thought Uncut Gems was phenomenal.
I agree.
And a lot of people I talked to hated it.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
thought it
that
was
was
brilliant.
because of the hype of it.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like I understand the hype for it. I was hyped for it. I had high expectations for it, and I thought it delivered.
I agree.
1,000%.
I thought it definitely delivered.
The premise was cool.
But I can understand why some people thought it under-delivered.
And he's a terrible person in that movie, but you're still rooting for him. I think that
yeah.
I think that it's like a Walter White situation. It's like Tony Soprano, like those bad characters. It takes a special person to be a bad person that you're rooting for. You know what I mean? You really gotta like it takes a lot to buy in on that. Someone with those bad morals that you're like rooting for. You know what I mean?
The anti-hero.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a super anti-hero in that movie. He's a piece of shit in that movie.
Yeah. It's he's a comedian though. He's like an entertaining like
exactly.
guy,
And
which,
then
like you said,
how it
we root
ends
for
is
him.
even crazier. Just like
Oh,
the movie's so tense. You're on the edge of your seat the whole movie. You never feel comfortable or like you never feel like there's a moment of like silence.
Mm-hmm.
The movie seems very loud in the background. Like there's a lot of paranoia and stuff. And
There
then like
is.
it just ends. You know, like something good happens to him and it fucking ends. It's crazy. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, that was a very nuts ending, and that
And you didn't
now
see it
that you're
coming.
reminding me of the exact ending, people probably felt a way about that
And
too.
dude, and he's like, this is how I win. And he's like on top. He's king shit. And he's fuck you. You know what I mean? He ain't shit. And it just ends. It's crazy.
I thought it was also brilliant how they start off with the guy. You talk about like the morals of him. How that you see the guy losing his leg like for that gem.
Yeah.
And then it all comes full circle with it's like he's paying for like the sins of what it took to get that.
Exactly.
So,
And it,
I thought that was brilliant.
exactly. Like it shows you exactly where his morals lie. Like he doesn't care about that guy.
No.
Not at all. He cares about that gem and his money.
Exactly.
Yep.
And your rationale of it right there is such a film cinephile rationale of it. Like people who watch that regularly and have a problem with the movie are not thinking about like, oh, he's repaying
you're
for the
probably
guy
right.
breaking his leg. They're just like, what the fuck? He died at the end. I didn't want to see.
Yeah,
like,
1,000. Yeah, I watched this whole movie just for him to die. That's what,
Yeah.
and that's what I was saying to him. Like people like you who aren't cinephiles. I mean, even though I might have appreciated Uncut Gems as much or more than most people probably, something like that I would have never even thought of. Like I never even connected that dot. But that couldn't be more true about the movie.
Like the explanation you gave us for the Irishman, you had a much more different interpretation than what most people have.
and here I am, an idiot,
definitely.
saying like, yeah, the Irishman sucked.
And that brings us to what you want to add to the board, your instant beef. Now, I
do
don't
wanna add
exactly
instant
know how to
beef.
word it yet, but let's talk about it, and then we'll see if we can get
bring
some
over
up there.
instant beef.
So Bisco's got an instant beef for
Big
us.
instant beef. And that's people who watch when something releases on streaming and in theaters the same day and they watch the streaming version. Like a film like Dune, which was such an epic, big scale film.
Yes.
Soundscape
anyone-
is made for theaters.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like anyone who watched that on HBO Max or just any good film on HBO Max, that right there is an instant beef. I fucking can't stand those people.
Now, I totally agree with you because I love going to the movies. I think the movie theaters is a great experience. It's like it's a good way to spend your night. Like it's relaxing. You know, you get a snack, you watch a movie, you go home. You talk about the movie with whoever you're with after. I love everything about the movies. And for someone to, you know, like Dune, right? Like it's like a spectacle of a movie. Like they put a lot of time and effort in the movie. You're supposed to watch it on the screen like that. For you, like you said on your podcast, like imagine there's a TV right here and you're watching Dune. You know, you're looking at this flag,
Exactly.
you're looking at all this dumb posters and stuff. It's just like
You hear
you're
your
not-
family in the other room.
Yeah, like your dog's shaking his like hair out. It's like you're not watching Dune how it's supposed to be intended to be seen. You know.
Exactly.
So I completely agree. I think the best way we can add it on there is movie freeloaders.
Movie freeloaders.
But it's not quite always freeloaders though, because if you're still paying for like a Netflix or a Hulu.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that, but when you go to so like, but you pay $14.99 a month for HBO Max, right? Going to see Dune's gonna set you back $50-$60 if you're going with a girl or something like that.
Yeah, if
like,
you're going with a girl for
you
sure.
know what I mean? If you go alone, it's still gonna set
Yeah.
you back $30 because the ticket's $15 and soda and popcorn's $15.
Yeah, but I will say this: if you go to movies twice a month, you can get the Regal Unlimited pass for $21 a month. You get unlimited films at Regal.
Really?
Yeah, if you see 2 films a month, you made your money back.
Yeah, I heard about that before. It definitely is.
Where's
yeah.
there a Regal theater at anymore though?
There's Moorestown. There's Manayunk. They got King
Oh, okay.
Prussia. Like honestly, they're the best ones too. They're way better than
Now I want to ask.
Really?
way better. Blows them out.
Wow, dude, you just
How are
gotta
the
put me
seats
on.
there?
Yeah. Seats, recliners.
Seats, recliners.
Honestly, everyone.
And they have
recliners.
the IMAX theaters in the Regal
Yep.
ones, right?
Yeah.
And not
IMAX
all
is
of them, but
chilling.
some of them. Like
Yeah.
King of Prussia is the best IMAX.
The one that
around
we had
us.
down here, we had an IMAX.
Yeah, we used to.
Yeah.
That was Regal.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm sick that they actually closed that. That's a great spot for a movie theater.
Yeah, I mean, for people who like, especially if you don't drive or want to go far, like we should
just-
have a theater locally.
It was
around
just
here.
always just so dirty and stuff like that.
Let me
Yeah,
get
I
one of those
never really minded.
cigarettes.
What's up?
Let me get one of those cigarettes. A little coffee and a cigarette, cuz.
There's a lighter right behind you.
All right.
I'll have one with you. But
Um,
real quick about this, so I think one reason that's a big instant beef is because like so many good films came out. Like how many people here say, "Oh, there's no good movies anymore"?
all the time.
Exactly, and like this year we actually had so many good movies come out, but most of them lost money. Like people didn't go out and see these movies. So it's like when all the good movies are losing money, yeah, you're gonna see worse films.
Nah.
Everybody have a good look at Annie Bull's ass while,
Let's just pull my cheeks
while he
out.
puts the instant beef
I was
on.
trying to think. Like,
Now, we'll get it on there. We'll
yeah,
get
I'm
it
trying
on
to
there.
think of where I even write it. I think I'm gonna write it in this corner.
So I want to ask, going off what you just said, is that do you think that, because now they're definitely making a comeback with movies like Spider-Man, which we are going to get into.
That's huge.
See,
for the
So
theaters.
for anybody
huge
out
for
there
the theaters.
watching,
huge.
like, just know that we already gave you like 15, 20 minutes of the podcast. Right now, I'm going to tell you that later, Spider-Man spoilers are coming. They are coming. So just know,
I
like,
think
you've given us what you need to give us for any type of ad revenue, which we don't even get anyway. So, fuck, like, but you've given us the amount of time you need to give us. If you don't want to hear the Spider-Man spoilers,
As of right
Move
now,
on.
I just want to check the current block.
It's over 100 million.
how
I
much
know
money
already.
they made?
Oh, 100 million. I thought they would have been 100 million opening night.
I think they made like 90 million.
So the budget was 200 million, which I thought would have been. I thought the budget for that would have been way more. Than
I
200
thought it
million.
would have been at least 3 too. I was
Yeah,
surprised it was
and
that low.
right now the box office is $637 million. Now I don't know if that's U.S. only or if that's a worldwide box office number.
I think that's probably worldwide, but
Yeah,
because you'd be surprised. It might not be, and those movies always end up doing almost double what they do here
Oh, yeah.
overseas because you really don't need to pay attention to the dialogue as much because it's,
No.
it's like it's just
Like you
action
said, there's
spectacle.
all that
action.
extra
Right.
After
Right,
Effects and all
Spider-Man's
that.
fighting Green Goblin, and you know we're saving Mary Jane. It's you don't really need to know.
So that's
going to
save theaters pretty much, like you said. That's going to be
Oh,
huge
yeah.
for theaters. And probably about a year ago, we thought theaters might be gone for good.
Right, but think
and
about-
streaming, which
Yeah.
you hate, would be the only option. You'd be sick.
See,
I would quit filmmaking.
I
Well,
see.
they would keep what's the name, like the Ritz would
That's
probably
what I was
stay
about
open.
to say.
Stuff
Yeah,
like that
theaters
would
will
stay
always
it
open.
would be it'd be much more of a niche hobby for people and like
Yeah.
something like if you really gotta love movies, you still want to make your way to the theater, which I would always do. I'm never gonna be a streaming day one guy. If I want to see a movie that I'm excited for, I'm going to the theater to see it
As you
every
should.
time, 100%. But yeah, like AMC theaters, right? Use AMC theaters for example. Say they have a lull. So there's like a month where just nothing's coming out. Their sales probably suck, but they're like, guys, Spider-Man's coming out. You know, their profit margin, like their bottom line number for the month of December is
Depends
probably
on Spider-Man.
insanity because
yeah.
of Spider-Man that it makes up for November, October. You know,
And
that's
the
probably how
dude scooping the
those things stay
popcorn
alive.
ain't getting a bonus.
Huh?
Fuck. And the dude scooping the popcorn ain't getting a
Nah,
bonus.
that manager might though. The manager at AMC theater might be getting a bonus, but the popcorn kid ain't.
They're going to give the manager a free bag of popcorn.
So before we actually get like into Spider-Man, because I know like everyone's in Spider-Man, like I want to hear from you like some of the movies that you did see this year, that came out this year that you want to plug, anything that you thought that really stood out to you that we should see. I'm genuinely curious because like you said, I didn't really see a lot of movies that came out this year.
Right. I've watched movies this year, but that came out in 2021.
I mean, I've seen movies, but like it wasn't anything, like stellar. Like there wasn't a lot
to
of
brag
like,
about.
Yeah, like I saw Carnage. Like
I did
Venom
see.
and Carnage.
Actually, you know what?
like.
I do have one for you that came out in 2021 and is a stellar movie, The Card Counter.
Yo, people are sleeping on that movie. That was one of my favorite films.
I'm definitely still on it because I don't even know what it is.
You
I'll
gotta
lend you
watch
the
it.
DVD. I already got
The
it on DVD.
actor,
Word.
what is his name? He has
Oscar
a
Isaac.
notable face, but
Oscar
didn't know
Isaac's
his name.
awesome.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. He was in Dune. He was in the new Star Wars trilogy.
Ex Machina.
You know why I like it once you find out what it's about.
Oh, I can already kind of guess.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm
Poker.
so happy
He
you
plays
said
poker.
because people are
Card
sleeping
Counter.
on that movie. That was one of my favorites of the year, and it's not getting no like award recognition either. So
Wow.
And this
Which
is
I
Oscar
think
season,
Oscar-
right? Correct me-
soon, yep.
Like correct, like this is like when like a lot of people hold their movies to release them
Exactly.
now, to freshen the minds for Oscars.
That's a problem with the industry today is that all the good movies come out the last 3 to 4 months of the year, and
Yeah.
then it's like an overload.
Yeah, it's like you don't go to the movies from May to August, and then you go to the movies 4 times from October to
Exactly.
January.
Now, real quick, I'm curious, how many? If you had to guess, how many films do you think I watched in theaters this year?
Movies that came out.
Well,
How
if
many?
you got the Regal pass, I know you got at least 2 a month, so like 30.
30. What's your guess?
I'm gonna go high. I'm gonna go 45.
And I bet if you're using your Regal pass, you're going to see movies you
just
like
because
more than once.
I know.
I have seen more than once. I see everything at least like twice for the most part.
Really?
Yeah.
Even something like Venom?
Nasty Venom, I only saw once.
Yeah, it's just like you kind of get what it is.
But you're both insanely off. So I
Really?
saw 30, as of right now, I've seen 33 2021 movies. The amount of total films I watched in the theater this year is 207.
Oh my god!
You go to the movies every day.
Pretty much, I see like triple headers. The most
Oh, like you'll go to the movies and spend the day.
I'll spend the most I ever did was 9 films in 2 days.
But you're not really finessing the movies
Wow.
because you got the Regal pass, so you can go in
Exactly.
whenever you
But-
want.
So before you had the Regal pass, would you just theater hop?
You know, we used to do
Sometimes,
that
yeah, I theater hopped
illegally.
before.
Yeah, because you would just because when you're kids, you just walk to Regal, you buy a ticket for Cloverfield, and then you go fucking see everything.
Exactly.
The only problem is you don't know what's showing at what time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
well, that's the
theater.
thing. You gotta go look at the thing. Remember, we walk into Regal and they had all the times up there. You gotta like go and like remember them.
They planned it out.
But then you
Yeah.
got to know the theater number that it's in.
So, I actually just looked it up real quick, and I don't see it on here. But a movie that did come out this year that I really did enjoy, that's super popular. Quiet Place 2.
I like that one.
I thought that was really good.
Yeah,
I thought it was a really good movie, and it wasn't that long.
Nah, it wasn't.
I thought like it started from the go. I thought that the start of the movie was powerful. Like it really shows
Yeah.
you like how it really just out of nowhere affected everyday life. Like
Just bang like that.
What the fuck is that in the sky? Everyone, let's go home. And you can tell how everyone's like terrified, and then shit hits the fan within minutes.
It's like even worse than they expected. Like,
Like you would have never expected anything like that, and then you see like your neighbor getting ripped in half, and you're like, whoa, like what is going on right now? I thought that was a really good movie.
yeah, I actually saw a double header for that. They showed the first one first, and then they showed the second one right after.
Ah, that's good.
I heard Nicolas Cage Pig was really good. Was that good? Did you see that?
I heard that was good. I missed that in theaters.
I heard that's an
unfortunately.
Oscar.
I wanted to see it.
That's an Oscar nom. I thought that was like up there. Like that was
Yeah.
one of the best pictures.
So
And
you've
don't think
seen
of Nicolas Cage.
21 movies from 2021.
No,
33.
33 movies
Individual.
from 2021.
Individual movies. So you got a nice selection to pick from.
Oh, yeah.
You like the card counter. Would
The
that
Card
be the
Counter
best
makes
one?
my top 10 for sure. It might even be. It's one of my favorites.
Did you see Last Night in Soho?
That's in my top 10 as well. I love that one.
I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
That lost a lot of money too.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Great.
Yeah. I was really upset because I went and seen it 3 times
So,
because I wanted to support the film.
You obviously know way more about films than I do. So what about that movie makes it in your top 10?
So I guess if we want to start with the story, it's like the fact that basically what it's about is like the girl is like she goes off in her own world in her room,
Yes.
listens to music, and she like feels like she's in the 1960s, and it basically
Uh-huh.
is about like basically escapism and how when you do it too much, it turns bad. And it's
Yeah.
like she thinks the nostalgia is going to be better, and then when you actually take a real look at that world, it's not what she thought it was.
Correct.
So that's kind of like in terms of the story. But I just thought the filmmaking was brilliant. Like the way he uses all the different colored lights and the music was incredible.
The lighting and like the set pieces were definitely very good.
Yeah.
That's what originally drew me to it in the first place. I saw the trailer for it in theaters, and I don't remember if you saw the trailer.
I actually hated the trailer.
The trailer makes no sense.
Yeah,
like
I thought
I don't
it was
even know.
terrible.
I don't know what this movie is. Next, like this girl singing on stage, and then there's monsters. It's like I don't know what's going on in this movie. I have no idea. She's falling to the floor. Like I had no idea what this movie was supposed to be about. That's what originally drew me to it. But I like the lighting and the set pieces. Like it looks
Yeah,
cool.
and the
Plus-
music was incredible.
Yeah. Plus that chick.
I was just about to bring
She's
that up.
awesome.
She's my
so-
favorite actress right now.
She's so hot and like
Yeah,
there's something about like her
gorgeous.
eye. Like I don't know. But
She's a star.
Yeah, she's a star. Like there's just
What's
like,
her name?
I don't.
Thomasin McKenzie.
Thomasin McKenzie.
Oh, I'm talking about the other chick.
Oh, I'm talking about the dark haired girl.
no,
You're Anna. It's like Anna Joy Taylor. I think her name is.
that chick.
Really, I think
So
that
hot.
I'm a much bigger fan of Thomasin McKenzie.
Wow, that's interesting that
Much
we're actually
bigger.
talking about different chicks there.
Now, like, dude, Thomasin McKenzie's like my favorite girl in Hollywood right now.
Really?
Easily.
Huh.
And she's also just like.
Oh, I'm not saying she's bad. I'm just saying I was talking about the other one.
No, yeah,
she was
she's
in
a dynamite actress. Split.
Split. That was the movie she broke out in.
Oh,
Yeah.
she was the
girl
girl
from Split, yeah.
And now in this movie, she plays like the chick from the '60s that this
Mm.
chick is like connecting with, like through time.
Yeah.
She is real good in Split.
Yeah, no, she's a good actress.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you feel about Old?
Actually, the girl Thomasin McKenzie's in that too.
Yeah.
She is?
Yeah, she's in that too.
Yeah.
So Old was a film that I think didn't like. I could see why people didn't like it.
Yeah.
I liked it personally. Like, I'm a big fan of Shyamalan, and like I love
Me
support.
too.
He's a local
Pennsylvania guy.
Exactly. So it's like I always
Sixers
support
guy.
his stuff. Big Sixer fan. But I think Shyamalan is someone who like he does a lot of self-finance in his films, so he has so much more creative freedom than most people do.
Okay.
So he's always doing something new. He's always, even if it doesn't totally work, it's always something new and creative with him, which I always enjoy.
What do you think about his cameos in his movies?
I love it.
They're so cheesy. He always gives himself the cheesiest lines, and you know he just like he loves it. He loves being
does.
in it. He gets the smallest like little part, but he's enjoying the shit out of playing that
Yes.
role.
I will say, Old should have ended like 10 minutes earlier. Like they shouldn't have answered all the questions. If they left it open, I think people would have liked it.
Because I was super fascinated by the light in the mountain.
Oh,
what
totally.
is that? You know, it's just like I thought that was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Any
Yeah.
other movies?
Old did have me a little confused at the end.
Yeah, I was even confused at the end. Like, I more appreciate it just for like the filmmaking of it.
Did you
and
see
like
that
the
twice?
acting. No, I wanted to see it twice. I only saw it once, but I'm gonna buy it on DVD.
What's your
So my top movie of the year is Belfast, which is still playing in theaters. I highly recommend everyone gets out.
That's
And,
the black and white movie?
yeah, it's an Irish movie too.
Yeah, okay.
So what it's about a kid growing up in I think it's pretty much semi-autobiographical to the director. And he's growing up in Ireland during like the Protestants and the Catholics when they're at war. And it's basically about the families deciding, do we want to stay in our community with our family and everyone we like know and love, or do we want to move somewhere safer? So that's what really like the major conflict of the film. Like beautifully shot, beautifully acted, like script, everything, just a perfect film, I think. Another one of my favorites was this Italian film called The Hand of God.
I think I heard of it. Definitely don't know much about it though.
Yeah, that was like a really I just thought creative, like great coming of age story. There's one scene in it that's like really like a tough to watch, uncomfortable scene.
Really?
But it's still like the way he directs the tension and creates that is genius. I thought that was just a genius film.
Now, you saw these in theaters?
All these I've seen.
Are these like Ritz movies?
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say
okay.
most of them. Like Soho wasn't. Card Counter was
No.
a Ritz movie. I'd say some non-Ritz movies like Nightmare Alley I saw recently that's playing everywhere. That was
What's
a pretty
Nightmare
good
Alley?
one with Bradley Cooper. That's a disturbing, dark movie, but it's rich.
That's a
really
new one,
good.
right?
It just came out. Like,
Yeah, I
same
wanted
night
to
as
see that.
Spider-Man.
I just saw the trailer for it. Yeah, I do want to go see that.
I'm
was
going to
good.
go home and movie freeload that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What about? Are you interested in seeing Licorice Pizza?
Oh, I've already seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did
it
you
was
like
great. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see that actually.
The girl was, she was a good actress, but like her character was so annoying.
Really?
Yeah, no, it was a good story. Like the soundtrack's great. It created the '70s perfectly.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that was
definitely
up
interested
there.
in seeing that movie for sure. I definitely want to go see that.
Also, The French Dispatch. That's another one of my top
French
films of the
Dispatch.
year.
Which one was that?
Do you know who Wes Anderson is?
Yes,
It's one of his films, so it's very
yeah.
like Wes Anderson.
What's your favorite Wes Anderson movie?
Honestly, it might be it's between The French Dispatch and Rushmore.
Really?
And Moonrise comes up there, but the only one I haven't seen that's the one everyone says is the best, Grand Budapest.
I love Grand Budapest.
Because I have a
Grand
theater rental in
Budapest
2
is
weeks to see it
fucking
in
fire.
theaters.
It's such a good movie.
Grand Budapest was one of those movies that I watched it, and when I watched it, I felt like I was watching something completely new.
Yeah,
like
me too.
Always,
it was
yeah.
like this is its
Wes
own
Anderson's great.
this is its
Yeah, it's
own
genius.
thing, and this is something brand new that I'm sure there's films that he took inspiration from that I don't know of. But
Sure.
it just seemed so brand new and so well crafted without looking like anything else.
But like Bisco said, it's like, you can tell it's a Wes Anderson movie without ever seeing his name pop up anywhere.
Yeah.
Like if you just see the Grand Budapest Hotel, you're like, this is Wes Anderson all over it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, lighting, set pieces, colors.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like it's beautiful. It's a
Distinct
great
style.
movie.
And he
Uh-huh.
limits like the colors, so it's like he limits the techniques he uses, so it's
like
all
Moonrise
the same.
Kingdom is all like that yellow tint.
Yup.
Like it's I that's a good movie too. I like that a lot.
And
I haven't
Grand
seen that in a
Budapest,
while.
like the blues and the pinks,
Pinks.
like they all have like their own distinct color
Yup.
palette. Another one I really this is a film I don't expect most people to like. I wouldn't recommend it to most people, but West Side Story with Steven Spielberg. I thought that. I mean, it's just Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, no,
at
I
his
never
best.
saw it.
Yeah, that's a new one. I mean, that's one I know musicals are. A lot of people don't like musicals. Like me, I like the music of musicals. So
See, I don't like to break the immersion of a story for a song and dance. You know, I find it hard to. I can't get into it. You know what I mean? It's just not for me.
yeah, I understand musicals aren't for everyone. So I understand why most people wouldn't like West Side Story, but
Right.
I really enjoyed that.
And I can get like, you know, people liking that, but imagine we're doing a podcast and all of a sudden like you can feel the energy break, and then like someone starts singing like in a fake singing voice. It's not even a real voice. It's like it's completely mixed
Yeah.
and
like a
edited.
dub. I know what you
Yeah,
mean,
it's
like-
it's.
I think that'd be fire in a podcast format though. Like if out of nowhere we
no,
just
so they got highly cinematic. And it's just-
When you have
we just
Carmine
broke
come
into a
on.
barbershop quartet. Like Carmine came in through the door and like hit the front.
starts like snapping.
Where
That'd
is he
be
at
great.
though? Are we gonna be able to? Is he gonna be able to come after us, or
I
are
mean,
we
as
gonna
far
have to
as I know,
postpone
it should
him?
be.
Yeah.
You never know with him. I mean, he's a wild card.
Yeah.
Now,
Grab some whiskey. Tell him
did
to
you
come by.
see No Time to Die?
I saw No Time to Die. It wasn't my favorite Bond movie. Like I thought it was enjoyable, but like it wasn't one I saw twice.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I was interested to see it, but I didn't see it. Now that
So-
I haven't seen it in theaters, I'm really not interested at all.
Yeah, if I didn't see it in theaters, I probably would have never
Yeah.
watched it.
One final warning, because I'm about to ask a key question here. You've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Spider-Man rank in the 2021 movies?
So if I'm being like taking bias away, if I'm factoring bias, it's like 5. It's like 4 or 5.
If you're keeping bias.
If I'm being biased, because I'm
'Cause
just a
you're-
big Spider-Man
yeah.
fan, like childhood.
Yep.
Now if I'm speaking like objectively, it's probably like 9 or 10.
That's still pretty good for a Marvel
That's really
superhero
high.
movie though. Like,
Especially-
considering you're putting it in with the likes of Belfast and these like real
Yeah.
these real good films, you know what I mean? Like for a blockbuster Marvel movie to crack into that's pretty damn good. That's like Dark Knight kind of
Totally,
clout, you know.
And I haven't seen it, and I'm about to let my ears get filled with every spoiler these two are about to talk about.
Now, so you confuse us though, because you're like, yeah, I don't care about spoilers, but try not to give me the fucking spoilers.
No, I said don't try not to say the end. Honestly, if you guys talk right now and you say the end, I'm not going to care. But I
Alright,
would
so,
if you could hold anything back, just hold back the
My
end.
whole thing was people were like, if I get this movie spoiled for me, I'm going to kill somebody. Like, if you don't know Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to be in this movie, you're
Nah,
stupid.
everyone knew. But it
You're
was
stupid.
still, it hit different. Even though
For
we
sure.
knew they were going to be
For
there when
sure.
they come out, it's like,
And I think
alright.
that the way that they were able to keep that like completely under wraps with so much hype being around the
That's
movie,
true, too.
like that takes a lot of what's the word? Like a lot of moving parts. Like think about
Oh,
how many
yeah.
people were working on that movie that they kept all that secret for all this time.
Yeah.
No pictures
Like
of
the
them,
crew and all
no
that, that's the
images,
tough
and
part,
nobody.
yeah.
You know, nobody at Marvel, like nobody leaked anything. They really kept it under wraps. I thought they did a really good job. The way they bring them on the screen is awesome. So what happens is at the end, did you see the last Spider-Man, Far From Home?
With Tom
with
Holland.
Mysterio and
Yes.
Jake
To be
John-
honest, this is what I'll say about my Spider-Man knowledge. I love Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Never Spider-Pig. Simpsons movie, real quick.
It's a banger.
Shitty banger.
Banger.
Yeah.
That's a shitty bang. That's a good
Hey,
movie.
that's actually like a pretty like funny movie.
That's
I
a
think.
well-written
Like,
movie.
yeah.
That's good. It's got a good premise.
But my extent of Spider-Man knowledge is Tobey Maguire. Loved the Tobey Maguire ones. Never even looked into the Andrew Garfield
neither.
ones. And the Tom
Not a
Holland
fan
ones
of
I
them.
just haven't
Yeah.
seen.
Me neither. I didn't even. There was something about those Andrew Garfield movies that I think that a lot of people from like our generation just missed.
Yeah, I mean, I rewatched them recently, and I was like, wow, these are really bad movies. Like,
Yeah, I think it was more like.
It's like, who's the dude that's now being Spider-Man? I mean, not Spider-Man. Who's the dude that's now being Batman in the Batman vs. Superman?
Robert Pattinson.
Like,
no,
I'm not
that was Batman
Ben
vs
Affleck?
Superman was Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
I thought you were saying the new
like
one.
I'm not
Affleck,
I'm
yeah.
not watching those. It's a situation like that for me. When I was a kid, Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man, and I enjoyed him. So when you told me Andrew Garfield was Spider-Man,
You're like an old
no,
man.
he's not.
Back
But
in
he-
my
Andrew
day,
Garfield
it was
was
Tobey
good.
Maguire.
They just
Yo,
didn't give him a lot to work with. But he
yeah.
actually was good.
And I think that Andrew Garfield stole the show of this new one.
He did.
I think he
agree.
did
He
100%.
was great.
And I never even saw his movies. I never was interested in seeing his movies, but I think that the way they brought his character in and like the emotion of his character and like the way he saves Mary
Yep.
Jane, where he redeemed himself.
Yep.
I thought everything about it, they did his character
Come
perfectly.
on, dude. He saves
Major
Mary
spoiler.
Jane.
Major
Oh,
spoiler.
so you're telling me Tom Holland lives? The guy who just signed on
Now
for
I
3
know
more
he
movies.
dies.
No, before the movie came out, it said Tom Holland signs on for 3 more Spider-Man movies. You know the ending's gonna end with Spider-Man winning. The Green Goblin's not gonna win. You know what I mean? Come on.
I wish he did. I fuck with Willem Dafoe.
And he was even better in this one.
He was
and
great,
I love
dude.
the first Spider-Man.
He was
I
so
love that movie,
good.
but it was straight out of like the cartoon and the comics. This Goblin.
And they did it perfectly because, like, he gets there and he's talking to Aunt May, and he's like really like messed up in the head, and he's like, I don't know what's going on with me. Like you start.
He's Norman Osborn.
Yeah, you start to like feel for him, believe him, and you're like, oh, he's the guy who's gonna help. He's gonna turn his leaf over and he's gonna help. And then Adam, he turns into the Goblin, and he's like, "You're an idiot!" Like, and
while he's talking to
and
Aunt
then
May.
he becomes the most powerful evil one out of all of them, and he's the one they all gotta fight.
And that was great how it's like his 2 biggest villains, Spider-Man, are the Goblin and Doc Ock. And they really were the 2 main villains in the film, which I thought was perfect. One big thing that was huge for me is that I always hated how, like, the Goblin suit, like, obviously it's, like, a childhood movie, but it's not comic accurate. There's no purple. And, like, William Dafoe has such, like, good facial expressions. Like, why would you hide that?
Yep.
And so, spoiler, they give him an actual more comic accurate suit where it has the purple, you can see his face, and I thought it was so much better. Like, I started clapping when the new Goblin suit came
And he's
in.
got that, he's got that
Exactly.
face, like the teeth, like he's just like he looks like he looks like a goblin, you know?
Yeah.
I thought that Willem Dafoe's acting in that movie like was a cut above everyone's.
He was the best one for sure.
for
definitely.
sure.
Yeah.
But he's Willem Dafoe. I mean, he's a
genius, he's a brilliant actor.
He's
Like,
awesome.
He's one of the best ever.
For sure. No, I thought that movie was very, 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 very like too well written.
I agree. And now here's why I put it up there with like those great films of the year is because this one really understood the character of Spider-Man, which I think like the core of his character is that basically like obviously the saying with great power comes great responsibility, but it's like he's a regular guy who's sacrificing his personal life to be Spider-Man and do the right thing. And this film really emphasized that and understood that about the character, which I thought they just did. I'm trying not to say it in the way where I don't reveal the ending to
but
you.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Everything was so well built up. It was also, and it makes me like because I didn't love Homecoming when it came out. The
Me
first
neither.
Tom Holland, it didn't feel like a Spider-Man. But now after seeing where they went with it in this one, everything feels so well set up.
Well, Homecoming is because the real Spider-Man, like true to the comic, is supposed to be that he's a high school kid.
Well, yeah, I
so
did
that's
like that
obviously what
element.
But
that
now
played
you
off
can
of.
I like that element,
After
but-
seeing this one, you can tell, and now knowing that Tom Holland is signed on for 4, 5, and 6,
Yeah.
you can tell that this was a great intro trilogy.
It
This
was.
is a standalone trilogy of Spider-Man films. Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home are a cluster of movies that fit together, and I think that these next 3 are going to be the next evolution trilogy, like a whole separate thing. How there's Star Wars 4, 5, 6, and then there's Star Wars 1, 2, 3, and there's Star Wars 7, 8, 9. It's going to be like that for Spider-Man. I think
Definitely.
that this is going to be a whole new era.
I don't know, because like that's crazy that he's gonna become like the guy, and now Spider-Man series of movies I feel like are more popular than ever. So people will start to look at him as the Spider-Man, in the same way that I look at like Christian Bale as the Batman. That is the
Now-
Batman. There's no one else, and I kind of look at Tobey Maguire up until now as the Spider-Man. But if they're signing this guy on for 4, 5, 6, he's gonna
And he's
become
good.
the
Tom
Spider-Man.
Holland's very,
Yeah.
very good. He's a good actor. He's believable.
Very.
You know, he's relatable. Like I think that Tom Holland's a great casting for Spider-Man.
Sexy as fuck.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. So like he actually like there was a scene where he took his shirt off in this movie, and I'm like, that dude's fucking ripped.
You'd be surprised, bro.
He's ripped.
Because the amount of money that Hollywood can pay trainers,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they can get somebody ripped in a short amount of time.
Dude, because he
Bale
wasn't
with
that
Batman.
ripped. He was
Yeah.
not that ripped in Homecoming. You know what I mean? Like he
like
is
Bane, dude, they
yoked.
got Bane
Oh,
looking
yeah.
like that through like push-ups and shit.
right.
He wasn't like doing crazy bodybuilding
But
exercises.
Tom Hardy's one of those guys. He's like Christian Bale, where it's just
Yeah.
like he just puts his body through the ringer for different roles and stuff like that. Like I don't know what Tom Holland's exercise regimen is. I don't know what his trainers got him eating, but that dude is fucking. He might be one of the most ripped people in Hollywood.
He's shredded
right now.
up.
Shredded, bro. Absolutely shredded. He put you to fucking shame.
Now I do think Tom
It's
Holland
not
is
summer,
the best
bro. I'm
Spider-Man.
chunky.
I do think even though the Toby movies, even though this new one I love, even though the Toby movies as a whole are really like my favorite ones, I always thought Tom Holland was the best Spider-Man. Even though like I think the movies got like the atmosphere and stuff right until this most recent one. I do think Tom Holland's the best Spider-Man.
And it's crazy, like Tom Holland in a short amount of time has done so much Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
He's done 3 movies himself. He's been in like a few Marvel movies, like he's been in Infinity War, Civil War. Like he's done
a little bit.
Endgame. He's done a lot of Spider-Man. Like he is Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
You want one more Spider-Man hot take before we
Hell
get
yeah.
out of here? This is going to be the hottest take of them all. And maybe it's going to just be put out. And maybe I'm not being honest. Like, I'm probably just putting it out there because it is such a hot take. The best character that the Spider-Man franchise has ever seen.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but I'm
Bonesaw.
Bonesaw, Randy.
Randy Savage as Bonesaw. The best. Fucking Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Get him the fuck out of here. Where was he at in the new movie? I'm not watching it unless Bonesaw was in it.
Yo, now, I'll tell you what. They did a, so for Doc Ock, right? They did like facial editing on him to make him look like he did in Spider-Man 2. And
Why?
I thought that they
Is
did
that guy dead?
No.
No,
But they
just
like
make him look
de-aged,
younger.
they de-aged
okay.
a little bit, and they did it really well. Like it's really solid. You know, like the de-aging for Irishman was a little controversial.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Now this one's really, really good. It's believable. You can see it. Now, I think that it would have been so cool. Now, did you see Rogue One?
Yeah, I saw Rogue One.
When-
I know it's with the
Carrie Fisher.
Yep.
So
And the general, I forget his name. Off the top of my
Tarkin.
head. Yeah, Tarkin.
So when they bring Carrie Fisher and Tarkin, Tarkin's been dead. That actor's been dead, but they bring him alive for that movie. And I know it's a short role, but if they would have did something like that for Randy Savage, just in a short role, like
As
Bonesaw
Bonesaw.
on his couch, like watching Spider-Man, like I know that guy, like anything,
Yeah.
like it would have been such a good callback because
That
that
would've
movie,
been great,
that movie
honestly.
has a lot of good callbacks. So like, did you see the wrestler with
Mickey
Mickey
Rourke?
That I haven't seen.
Wow,
That's a good one,
really.
bro, that you're
Dude.
missing out on. That's
Shout
just
out
I think
Marissa Tomei,
Aronofsky
too.
did that. If I'm
Dude,
if I'm
yes,
right,
he did.
He's a
And
great director.
The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke is one of the greatest movies of the 21st century. For
All right, I'll definitely
sure.
watch
You
it.
have to see that movie. But I like a Mickey Rourke style where like Bonesaw's like in some like shitty like trailer. Like I know that guy.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing. That would have made my heart complete.
That would have been
For
great.
sure.
I never even thought of that,
For
but that honestly would have
sure,
been
that'd
classic.
be great. Yeah.
So now that we've given you everything you need to hear about Spider-Man, I'm glad you guys didn't give too many spoilers.
Wait,
I feel
Spider-Man
like
does
thing, though,
die.
It has, I think,
kidding.
top 3 saddest MCU deaths in the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easily.
And like that's what was so good about the movie
Mm-hmm.
too is that these movies are very funny. Like these Spider-Man movies, they add a lot of humor into them. There's a lot of good action. There's a lot of good scenes, and they can really tug on the heartstrings because that scene
Yeah, they
really,
did.
it really is sad.
variety of emotions.
Yup, you
throughout the
believe
movie.
it. They totally buy in. The chemistry between them, you can feel it. It's strong, and I think that they did a really good job with that for sure.
Sort of like Click.
Yeah, I think Click's sadder still. I still think Click is sadder. I think I teared up more Click.
Maybe I need to give it a rewatch.
You saw Click on a Saturday.
You gotta see Click at a movie theater when they.
Oh, listen, they
when
rescreen it. I'll
rescreen-
see it. They rescreen it. I'll see it.
Click at the Ritz.
Click at the Ritz. That'll be the day.
Click at the Ritz.
Click at the Ritz. Bisco would quit film school.
No, I do see it.
He's like, wow, that's all it takes to get to the Ritz is make fucking a reverse control remote.
I quit film school fucking if Ritz goes out of business.
True.
That was good. That was a good episode. I like
So,
that.
Yeah.
so anything you want to say finally about overall your direction as a filmmaker, Chindan's direction as a talk show, before we get you out here today, and hopefully get Carmine in here.
Go see some of these movies in the theaters. Get out to the theater, especially winter break. If you're on winter break, get out and see some of these movies. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's not as expensive as people think. You know, just sneak some snacks in, and just go see some of these movies the way they should be seen.
My man sold 230 movies this year. I think you can make your way to the
208.
theater. you can make your way to the theater twice.
Danny went to Spider-Man with someone who put a Chipotle bowl in their waistband.
And fun fact about that little story, his Chipotle bowl opened in his waistband, and he had meat juice all over his dick the whole time.
That had to
Can't-
ruin the whole movie.
If you want to hide the Chipotle in the waistband, you can't get the Pico de Gallo.
Yeah, I know. He should have fucking kept it light. No queso.
Yeah.
He should have
He put queso?
Dude, you know what? I don't know what he had in there, but he loaded it up. He did not, he didn't spare it. This is also the second time that he's done this, so I gotta shout Ernie out for a no limit. I've seen Ernie
That's no limit.
I've seen Ernie eat turkey bowls from Wawa on Thanksgiving morning at like 2 a.m. He's bringing Wawa Chipotle. That dude's no limit. The Gobbler Bowl, that's what it was. The Gobbler.
The Green Gobbler.
The Green Gobbler.
Maybe that'll
yeah.
be... Nah, that's not the name of the episode. We'll think of something better.
I think the Green Gobbler's a good one, but I think that I'm definitely going to see some of these movies. I'm definitely interested to see a lot of them for sure. I want to see that car movie with Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
I still want to see Dune, even though I didn't see it in the movies. I still
It
kind of
actually still playing in a couple theaters.
Is it really? Maybe
Yeah.
I can go fucking catch it.
That's you. That's you. What was the movie you said you had no desire to watch it? Oh, it was before the episode, but you said there was some movie you seen in the theater and it was just such a theater movie. You didn't even
Dunkirk.
care. Yeah, that's how Dune is. Like it's such a big screen
exactly.
film. Like it's not going to be
wanted
the same
to, yup.
at all. Like
Yeah, shout out my my movie partner Brianna. We were supposed to go see Dune and we never did, and I'm sick about it.
So
Took a chance.
watch
Yeah.
all these movies, but more importantly, watch the No Limit Podcast and the
Chin
Chin Down Podcast. That's been it. No Limit Podcast, episode 57.
Damn.
Peace.
Love yous.
Peace.
Love yous.
Peace.
Love yous.